I've got to say that coming to this tiny house really makes me want to build a tiny house and live in a tiny house. And I'm sure we'll still do the school bus conversion just because it's more feasible within our budget than a tiny house is. But man, these are amazing. There's nothing about them that does not feel like a completely fully built home, and it's a great feeling.
Told you guys in our live chat, my mom and stepdad are coming to Colorado for the wedding, and huge bonus, they're staying in a tiny house because they're gonna start building a tiny house and they wanna scope it out. So we get to give you guys a tour of their amazing tiny house that they're staying in. It's 400 square feet, which is the kind of the peak of tiny house sizes. So they really got the Cadillac here, and we really look forward to giving you guys a tour. So. And
more amazingly, we're in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, in Lyons, Colorado, at Wee Casa. I'm sure a lot of you guys have looked it up. If you haven't, look up Wee Casa because they have tons. You can see all these tiny houses along here. It's really, really cool.
Really cool spot.
Okay,
so,
let's get into the tour.
Let's go meet my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm such a mama's boy. She's like my best friend, and I couldn't be more excited that she's going to be doing a tiny house with my stepdad Fred. If you guys have watched our channel for a little while, the cutting boards, the picture that's on our wall, those are all done by Fred. He's a master carpenter.
The infamous Fred.
The infamous
as
Fred.
we like to call him.
So he's going to be the constructor of these tiny houses. So he's kind of going to start ripping these apart, and we're going to dive in.
How it is that you build a tiny house. So if we'll show you from the exterior, all this incredible paneling, and this deck.
They're plugged in right here. So obviously there's no solar on this one, but it's massive, so you probably want to be plugged in. The cool thing about this deck, these massive hinges right here, indicate to me that this deck just folds up and completely covers the front of the whole entire house.
Yeah.
So the whole deck just kind of stows away, which is great because that's a huge deck. That's
this
like
deck almost doubles the square footage.
Yeah, look, and this
walk in from the corner here.
That lines the entire outside of the deck. You can have like 25 people out here.
Okay.
All right, so now let's meet my mom and stepdad Fred.
Hello.
Cute.
Oh, hey guys. Hi. Come on in.
Well, thanks. So women inviting in here. We're super jealous that they get to stay in this tiny house. It's 4 times the size of the bus, so whatever.
Super cool.
First thing I noticed when I walked in was all the wood. The natural wood, which I think you get an indicator of that when you're outside the bus, because outside the tiny house, because the whole tiny house is wrapped in wood. So you come in and you get this really nice, is this untreated, Fred? It almost seems like it's untreated. Just
yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is.
Just straight up, you know. I mean, you could probably get splinters from this wall, which I love. That's awesome. I mean, it's just raw. It smells like wood in here, which is so nice. I think they're like the first or second people who have been able to stay in this tiny house, so it still has that new tiny house smell, which I've just discovered. When you first walk in, sweet little pull-out sofa. This is also a convertible table that Fred and I think we've realized that someone was either incredibly smart and over-designed this and we can't figure it out, or the opposite of that. And we're having a tough time figuring this table out, but we think it folds up and goes away somewhere, which is pretty cool. But it seems like you don't really need that much more space in here. There's like a lot of space to move around. Yeah. Granite countertops, that blew me away, not only because of weight, but just the fact that they, it's the little attention to detail in places like this. And that's why I think I'm so excited to start doing the tiny houses.
The microwave even?
Yeah, because you can spend more on the little spaces, right?
Look at the size of the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of room there.
There really is. There really is, and it seems like they spared no expense because it's small but lavish, and that's the cool thing. But it doesn't feel small. There's plenty of room to move around. If you folded this down, if you get an engineering degree and figure out how to fold that down, then there'd be plenty of room to move around.
Tons of storage in the cabinets.
I just noticed these, the black pinstripes in this like wainscoting here. That's really cool.
Yeah.
They must have stained that or put some white
and then wiped it off.
Yeah, wiped it off.
I might steal that idea. I really like that.
It accents with the black frame. Trim.
Exactly. It really does.
Cool. Super nice. Cool.
Okay. So moving on. Full-size refrigerator with the freezer, and it looks like this is their house event. This is a big part of tiny homes that I've realized I didn't really think of until moving into a bus. That in a small space, circulating the air is a really big deal. The air gets really stale really quickly when you're just breathing in the same air over and over again. So, and then look at the size of this bathroom. You could come in here, no doubt. This place is huge.
Toilet?
There's a full-size toilet, not even a compost toilet. full-size toilet, porcelain. This is actually what I got one of these for my step van and decided to send it back because I don't want to use that much propane. But this is a propane or a gas hot water heater, which is super cool because it's tankless, meaning that they're never going to run out of hot water as long as they don't run out of propane or water, I guess. And then just to the left of that is a little heater for back here because the fireplace, which you can see now all the way down there, past my mom and Fred, he's frantically moving out of the way adorably.
Fireplace?
Fireplace is way down there. And then if you look above the fireplace, there's this big area that all the hot air I'm sure just goes to. So if you have hot stuff, it'd be good up there. But I have a feeling it takes a while for the hot air to make it all the way back here. So this probably does a really good job of heating the bathroom.
Maintaining that, yeah.
Yeah, but the hot air goes straight upstairs and straight to the bedroom. So let me show you guys that.
Let me get the rest of this bathroom.
Because I'm 6'4", not only is it hard for me to find spaces that I don't feel claustrophobic in, but stairs are kind of a tough thing. I always hit my head on things. So the cool thing I liked about these stairs is they designed the space above the stairs to be the exact same size as the stairs footprint. Meaning like, but when I step on the first stair, my head's already clearing the ceiling. If I stepped off and went backwards, I might be in trouble. You know what I mean? But like, if you step straight up, you're just fine. Which is awesome for somebody tall. You don't think about little things like that unless you're a tall person.
Your legs look great from here. Your calves. Okay.
This is what they donate money for. Tiny house? Are we in a tiny house anymore?
What?
Is this tiny?
Doesn't feel tiny.
I don't think so. So the reason I can stand up here is because this whole top part rises up once you park.
And this balcony is awesome.
So this balcony is super cool. Outlets all over the place.
Great view from there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Loft space.
So
I've never
nice.
seen a tiny house loft capable of supporting not just 2 beds, a full queen bed, another bed that also pulls out as a trundle bed and can also become a queen size bed comfortably. And there's these sweet windows right here. This is a feature I really enjoy. USB outlets on the wall. That's a good one because when you have a nightstand, let's be honest, what do you keep on your nightstand? Just your phone, right?
So bright.
So what's the point? Just put your phone there, just plug it right in.
USB, baby.
All right, so now we're back in our tiny house. It's much smaller than that one, only at 111 square feet, but it suits us.
Yeah, about a quarter the size. It was really fun going to Wee Casa and checking out the tiny houses. We did that last week. We were planning on uploading this tiny house tour video last week, but we forgot our camera at the venue, the wedding venue, so now here we are on Monday trying to get back into the livingZEAL groove.
That is huge. It's like a transformer or something. I think Russia's taking over.
On the drive back from visiting their tiny house when they first got here last week, we were sitting in the car thinking like, man, do we want to build a tiny house over another long school bus conversion? But I feel like the cool thing about school buses that tiny houses don't have is kind of that reusable charm, sort of. You know, like so many buses are just sitting there doing nothing after they're not being used by a school district. So to be able to repurpose them into a home, even though it doesn't look exactly like a little tiny house, I feel like is still really, really cool. And we
It's got that charm too.
Yeah, exactly. We're always about reusable stuff. We know you guys are too. But whether or not you're looking into living in a school bus or a tiny house or a van, whatever, the decision is yours. You really have to kind of weigh out the pros and cons for yourself. And for us right now, I feel like our 111 square foot short bus conversion is perfect, especially for the summer.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be built on a trailer to be classified as a tiny house. So don't feel like you have to be lumped into that. Like that's just sort of the epitome of how people are doing it.
Yeah.
But I think, long school buses, even, Sprinter van. Oh no. Akina.
That's okay.
Okay, we're gonna hold it for the rest of the video.
Our cat just
destroyed
locked our camera.
off
Okay.
the thing. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you have. I've seen some awesome van conversions, just however you want to live tiny. It's all tiny houses till it gets to 400 feet.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we hope you guys like this tour. Sorry, we're a little flirped out still because we've been kind of regrouping from the wedding being over. But we're going to get back into our normal livingZEAL groove in the next couple days. We're super excited, and we hope that you guys like this tiny house tour. If you're in Colorado, go check out Wee Casa and see if you can tour any of their tiny houses to get inspired for your own.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and share. And share. Because I already said comment.
And become a patron.
And become a patron.